Everything is a relationship. The way you relate to life, the way your relationship with other people, the relationship with your parents, everything has to do with who you are. Because since we're little, that's a big part of who we are. Our parents mold us and tell us what's right and what's wrong, and we don't question it because we think they are everything. Like, they are gods. Like, we literally are our parents, and what's right and what's wrong is based on how we grew up and what our parents told us. So our egos do a structure of how we should be, how we should have this job, how we should have this relationship, how we should look like to others, what we should be to society, how we relate to society, how we relate to other people. That everything is a relationship. And we create this life since we're little, basically, and we're here to learn who we are. That's our human design. Our human design is to learn through people, through person, places, and things, and see how that makes you feel. And we can transform that. We have the ability, the strength, and the courage to do that if we wanted to, because we can break that ego, we can break that conditioning and come up completely different. But how do we do that? We do that by breaking the emotions of the past, because our emotions are there to teach us about ourselves. When we think that everything is separated from us, who is that? That's our ego. Our ego is the one that tells us that everybody else is separate from us and that we are better or less than anybody else. And that comes from our childhood as well, because they never taught us that, of course. But being conscious of everything you do and every person that comes up in your life, and knowing that that person is a reflection of you trying to teach you something or trigger something within us, to know who we are. And when we take our power back, not blaming anybody else for what comes up in our life, and having every circumstance, every person that comes into our life there to transform it and transcend it and make it something that we can evolve from, right? It's not there to make us feel bad, or maybe it is, but whatever it is, we allow ourselves to let it be all that it is. What does our ego do? It puts it in a label, it puts it in a structure, it puts it, this is good, this is bad, this is not my garbage, this is not for me. That's that person that did that to me. That's what our ego does. And when we're aware of it, when we're observing it constantly, and we're knowing who we are towards all of these things that are going outside of us, which is so perfectly designed to know who you are and to connect back to God, to connect back to that God self, then there's where your power really takes into place, because you're being a conscious creator. You're being a conscious creator of who you are, how you want to show up in your life. And it's not dependent on a person, place, or thing, because you know everything is you. Everything is a projection of you, and everything is a projection of love, even if that does involve dense emotions. But now what does the ego want? It wants to have those temporary excitements, that temporary passion. The ego always has a projection that something in the future is going to be better than what is now. It's always taking you from the present moment. And being aware of that is so important as well, in being a conscious creator of your reality, right? So what am I trying to say? That yes, you create your reality, but it's once we are able to take our emotions and transcend them, and being in the present moment and looking at yourself, how you're showing up, and being completely honest with yourself and how you want to create your life, then there we can transcend it and make our life more conscious and more you, which that's what we all want. We want to be more of ourselves. We don't want to be our conditioning. We don't want to be our trauma. We don't want to be our sicknesses, our environment, because everything is there to teach you about yourself, if that's that's what it's there for, but it's being aware that that's what it's there for, right? And life is beautiful. Everything there is so perfectly made for you to know who you are. Like, I always say that. I know I said that a lot already, but it's so perfectly done for us and our vibration to know what vibration we hold. And then you have the opportunity either to transcend it or not, but it's up to you, because this is the thing. As a society, we like to have high vibrations, and we don't like to feel our low vibrations when we have it. We have our shadow side. We have our dense emotions, which is fear, which is guilt, might be anything. But if we say, no, this is not mine, the dense emotions, my shadow is not mine, then you cannot experience God. You can't experience peace. You can't experience love, and it's in the now. It's not far away. It's not something that's unattainable. It's not a goal that is in the future. It's not. But it is something that you need to be aware of, that it might not be in the now for you, but it's first you need to accept the darkness that we all have, which is all that we are, because we are totality. We are darkness and light. But in order for us to touch more of our light and know who we are, an authentic self and our God self, and that compassionate, loving being that we are, we need to go through our dense emotions. And some days it might not be all light, and some days it might be more dark, but it's allowing ourselves to feel that, yeah? And so this is how we create our reality, by allowing ourselves to feel those dark emotions and transcending it. And how do we know what our dark emotions are? Use your advantage, the people that are around you. What do they show you about you? What does that make you feel? In your environment, what you do like every single day, how does that make you feel? Being conscious of it. Being conscious of what you've created so far. Unconsciously, you don't realize that you've created that for yourself. That lifestyle. You don't realize that you've created it for yourself, but you have, unconsciously. But now that I'm letting you know this, you can take the opportunity to be more conscious about the way you're showing up in your life and what vibration you're carrying within you. That is very real. That's the most real. Your vibration communicates with the universe. And your vibration might be very similar to your family, because we need to break it. We need to break those emotions that you carry. And that's what the beauty of life is. So if you want more videos like this of how we create our life and how we show up, give it a like and a thumbs up, and please subscribe. I love you. Until next time.